Hello and welcome to another iRacing how-to video. In this installment, we will go over how to create and maintain a league. A league in iRacing is a series of hosted races carried over the course of a season. You can pick what cars will be raced at what tracks and at what times they will be raced at. You can even hand out prizes for wins and championships. You effectively become the sanctioning body for your series. Let's start by joining a league. Go to the League section of the iRacing member site. To find the league you're looking for, you can scroll through the list of leagues, apply filters, or search by name. Applying filters can be quite powerful. Start by typing in something relevant to what you're looking for, and you will see a list of similar terms below in the text field. You can either continue typing the rest of your term, or click on one in the list. To go to the league page to find out more information about the league, click the View button associated with that league. Within the league's page, you will want to review the league's information. Be sure to read the specific rules that the league director has posted, and the website if they have one. Each league also has a calendar of events. If you hover over the trophy icon, you will see the events posted for that day. Should you like to keep up with the league calendar without needing to come back to this page, go to the Race Sessions tab and click Export Calendar. You can either copy the URL into a calendar that supports subscriptions, such as Google Calendar, or you can download the iCalendar file and import it to a calendar program, such as Outlook or Thunderbird. It should be noted that calendars are only exported by season. If a league has multiple seasons, it will have multiple calendars should you want to follow all of them. If you like the information you see, you can click Apply to this league, provided that the league is accepting applications. You can also apply to the league by clicking the Join button associated with that league in the league directory. In either case, this will send a message to the league director notifying him or her that you have applied. If you go to the Pending Requests tab, you will see that your league membership request status is here. At the league manager's discretion, they will either accept or decline or ignore your application. If you are accepted, you will be sent a notification. Once you have been accepted to a league, you will want to view and enter the scheduled races. If you go to the League Sessions area, you will be shown all of the races you are eligible for. Should there be a race in session, this is where you will go to join it. To join, click the green steering wheel icon next to the event. To start a new league, go to the League section of the iRacing member site. Then click Create a League. Then enter a name for your league. This will bring you to the league dashboard where you can control everything about your league. Start by going to League Info and Edit League Information. Then enter at least a description and some general rules. If you have a website, enter the URL here. If you would like to receive notices about people wanting to join your league, click the Recruiting checkbox. In order for the league to have searchable tags, we will need to set up search filters. To do this, click Set League Filters. Go through the list and select which terms best match the description of your league. You can always edit these later. If there is a particular keyword that you want for your league to be searched by, type it in the Tag area. If you have multiple tags, separate them with commas. When you are done, save your changes. You will also want to set up your privacy settings. You will find the Privacy Settings Manager here. Enabling any of these options will hide that information from the public. However, this information will still be visible to members you have accepted to your league. To gain new members, you can either invite them individually, or you can allow them to apply to your league. To allow members to apply, go back to the League Info window and click Edit League Information. You can then toggle if you are recruiting here. To send invites, go to the Members window. Then click Invite a Member. You can then select from your friends and studied lists, or you can search from all iRacing members. This will send a notification to that member inviting them to the league. Now go to Manage League Requests. Here you can see your pending invites and applications. You can accept or ignore applications with these options here. You can also cancel any invites here. When you have members, you will see them in the Members window. You have a few options with each member here. We can add a nickname and add a custom number here. By hovering over this gear, you can choose to make that member an admin or you can remove that member from your league. These same options are available in this members list here. Alternatively, you can blacklist a racer to prevent them from joining your league race or other of your hosted races. Do this by going to the My Racers section of the member site, then search by the racer's name. Hover over their helmet icon and click Add to Blacklist. The racer will now show up in your My Racers list if you have Show Blacklisted checked. To remove a driver from your blacklist, find them in your My Racers list, hover over the helmet icon again, and click Remove from Blacklist. This can also be done from any results window. While in the League Manager, go to the Race Sessions tab and click on one of your seasons. If you've had races, you can click on the red R icon and bring up the results window. Now, just like the My Racers window, you can hover over a helmet icon and click Add to Blacklist. The iRacing League Manager comes with a simple yet powerful communication tool. Should you need to contact your entire league, you can click Write a New Post/email. From here you can select if you want the message to be posted to your league's wall, to each member's email account, or to their private message box. If you post to your wall, your message will show up here, much like a Facebook wall. Now start a season by clicking Add a New Season. You then name the season and choose a point system. Click the Click Here link to get a breakout of each point system. You can also establish your own custom point system by clicking Custom. As you can see, I already have an active season in place. I'm creating another season for a different division of cars. We'll get to these details later in the video. We need to set up a few sessions for our drivers. Start by clicking Add a Session in the season you want to be in. This section should look familiar, as it is the same interface used for the hosted sessions and tournaments. Let's start by selecting a session, duration, and time. Then select a server closest to where you think most of your racers will be. The number of racers per server is limited by the track, so let's select that first. This first race will be at Road Atlanta in the short configuration. You will see that the racer's server dropdown now shows a maximum of 43 entrants. We can also configure the weather, then select a car. We will be using the new Roof RT12R track car. Now we get to select session type. A session will be a series of races, practices, or qualifiers where the user does not need to exit the sim to move on to the next event. Historically, the practice, qualify, race events are the most popular and easiest to manage. With regard to some of the events that start without qualifiers, this session type will give you the option to change the starting order before that race. My first race will use the open practice, lone qualifier, and race type. Later on, we'll show you how to set up the grid. Next, we will set a duration for each section of the event. 10 minutes is fair practice time. Then set a lap and time limit for qualifying. Now we will choose if the race will end based on time or laps. If you plan on ending based on laps, it is important that you do a test session beforehand to get a general idea of what an average lap time should be. If you have full course cautions, the total time for a race will likely be much greater. Now we select the starting type. I want this to be a standing start. Unlimited fast repairs and no full course cautions. If we enable full course cautions, then we need to pay special attention to the type of restart we choose. iRacing now has some detailed optional settings for the host to use. Here we can set a maximum incident per race threshold for the drivers. If any single driver receives more incident points than you allow, they are automatically disqualified from the race. We can also restrict entrants based on iRating and license class. You can also add multiple admins. This is useful for large events. You can allow what driving aids can be used, if any. And finally, you can choose whether you will allow spectators. The last section is for notifying league members of the events. This is an extraordinarily powerful tool and makes for a great hands-free operation of the league. Simply select if you want to send a message now, at an amount of time before the event, or at a specific day and time. Then type the message reminding drivers of the event. Once you're done, click Schedule Race Now. Had you chosen the session start time as now, this button would say Purchase and Race Now. In either case, double-check the settings and click Confirm if everything is all set. You may have noticed that I already have the feature race posted. Since this race is not started yet, I have the option to modify the event parameters. You can do this by going to the League Sessions section and hovering over this icon. Then click Here to edit the session. You will now be brought back into the event editor. Since this is a practice then race session, I will have the option to manually set up the grid. We'll get to this after the race we just set up is done. Since everything else is already set up, this will make for an easy transition from the first race to the next one. And that covers the basics on how to set up several races. I'm going to let this race run, and when we get back, I'll show you how to manually set up the grid. Now the first race is done and we're moving on to the second race of the evening. I notified the drivers that the top 30 would make the next race, so unfortunately we need to make some cuts. Since the race is already scheduled, we're going to the League Sessions tab. Then hover over this icon and click here to edit this session. We already went through the event parameters, so all we need to do now is set up the grid. Do this by clicking click here to configure your field and grid. You will now be brought to the League Session Grid Builder tool. You can either load all of the drivers from your league, or you can load them from a previous race. We're loading from the previous race, so select this bullet. You can now select what percentage of the drivers to load, or how many drivers to load. We're going to load the top 30, so I'll select top N and type in 30, then click Load Drivers. Now my top 30 drivers are in my current race field, shown here. If you want to add specific league members that did not make the previous race, you can select them from the list here and click Load Drivers. We will want to apply these drivers in a specific grid configuration. You can use the Configure Grid Automatically tool and choose from several algorithms in the list. Alternatively, you can drag drivers into the grid manually and set up the grid yourself. In either case, you will have the option to drag and drop drivers within the grid as you please. You can even drag them back into the field or drop them in the recycle bin. Once you're set with your starting grid, click Done, and the grid will be applied. Now it's time to join and manage the race. Earlier in the video we added a season, but we have the ability to host many simultaneous seasons within a single league. This is useful if you want to split up your drivers or have different divisions of cars, i.e. a late model division and a separate modified division. Here I have two seasons, and we need to make points adjustments in one of them. We can do this easily by clicking on the season we want to make adjustments in, go to the driver listed in the point standings, and click on the point value. This will bring up the points editor. Here we can add and subtract points, as well as make public, admin, and private comments for the points adjustment. You add points by entering a positive value here. Subtract points by entering a negative value. Adjustments will show up here in the points added and points subtracted columns. When a season is complete, you can click Retire Season. This will move the season into the Past Seasons section of the Season Manager. Should you need to, you can restore a retired season. You can still make points adjustments in a retired season. Should you delete a season, it will not show up in your past seasons, and you cannot restore it. When you decide to announce the ending of a season, it is up to you to send the notifications to your members. And that just about wraps it up for creating and maintaining a league. We hope you enjoy running your own league. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on track.